So, meine Damen und Herren.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's wonderful day. I think it's going to be a day that you will never forget. I would like to welcome everybody. My name is Norbert, and I'm gonna guide you through today's event. I'm not the most important person here today. I'm just the person who is going to guide you, and I'm gonna tell you who's gonna be here and who's gonna do what. Of course, I would like to welcome everybody that's here today, but of course, I would also like to welcome everybody all over the world, everybody who is going to participate via live stream. Welcome, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first Infinity Blockchain Conference ever taking place, and it's taking place in Switzerland. Of course, we're very, very proud of that. We're very proud that the first event is taking place in Switzerland and that we can all participate in it. Of course, I would like to say welcome to everybody. Welcome in Zurich. Of course, I would like to know where everybody's from. So this room is completely filled. All the tickets have sold out, and that's fantastic. Those of you who are listening in via our live here and lives further than 100 kilometers away. Oh, wow, that's very close, though. Who traveled more than 300 kilometers? Oh, wow, great. Who traveled 800 kilometers to be here today? Wow, so many hands. Who traveled more than 1,000 kilometers to be here? Oh, wow. So those of you who traveled more than 1,000 kilometers, who thinks that they traveled the furthest distance? Dennis? 11,000 kilometers? Wow, congratulations. $9,000 kilometers. Wow. Is there somebody else that traveled about 10,000 kilometers? Okay, well, that is amazing. Thank you very much. If people are here and they traveled so far to be here, that really tells us how interesting this event is to you. Okay, so today we're going to have a very exciting day prepared for you, and our Infinity Economics has already been born. And starting from today, it's really going to start to walk by itself. But it already took quite a few hurdles because so far we're already present at 3 different exchanges. And that means that over the past few days, a lot has changed. The past few days, Xing has increased in terms of value by 168% already. And that is very, very clear. So today you can also already use your Xing and you can already see this growth. So that also means that we already have a couple millionaires among us. That's just sensational, isn't it? And of course, I hope that we're all getting this number. But it's not only about numbers today, because we're not only talking about a Xingnim. That's just speculation. But what's even more important is really what's behind it. What's even more important is what's behind Infinity Economics, and that's really just a system that is going to be used by the whole world in the future, and we are part of it. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep you any longer, and I would now like to welcome the person who is making all this possible for us. I would like to introduce you to a person that is very special, and I would also like to make it possible for that person to just tell you what Infinity Economics is all about and what has changed. What's also very important is that that person is going to be the one building the bridge between us and everybody else. So many have asked us in the past, who are these people? What are these people doing? Well, because these questions come up, it's very important that they can do the work they're doing. But we have a person that is building a bridge for us. And that person did not only build a bridge for us, but that person is also the reason why we are all participating in Infinity Economics. Okay, please welcome with a big round of applause so that we can really hear it on stage. Please welcome our Stefan. Thank you very much. Yeah, so now it's very, very difficult for me to really find something to say. I'm a little speechless, to be honest, because this round of applause was not just for me, but instead we started this project and we created an alternative to the current financial system, and by doing so, everybody in this room and also everybody who's listening via live stream, you are the owners of Infinity Economics. And that's a DAO, a decentralized, autonomous organization. And that means that we're really taking different paths in the future. And that's why this warm round of applause that we just heard is not for me, but it's really for all of us, because we created this together. And we're going to create even more together in the future. And I'm very much looking forward to that. And I'm very much happy to be part of this movement. Yeah. So first of all, maybe just very briefly, let's look back at what happened over the past year and a half. Well, we started with an idea that originally started online in the crypto area, and many of you were very new to that. Many of you just started looking into this area of expertise and didn't really understand a lot. And I know the very first beginning, when I was starting to talk to people, they were just looking at me and they said, I hear you speak German, but it sounds like Chinese to me. And it took quite a while until we really had the basic understanding of this new technology. And today we're in a position that we're in the mainstream media, TV, and so on. We see things all the time. We hear things all the time about blockchain technology specifically, and also Bitcoin. And just recently there was a sentence that I read and it was very interesting. Bitcoin is the most well-known crypto technology or cryptocurrency that is available in this world. And why is that the case? Because it was the very first one. Because they had the best marketing or the longest lasting marketing. And that is something that when we first started discussing this whole situation, that is something that we were wondering, why is Bitcoin not something that has reached the masses with its brilliant ideas? And we noticed that many ingredients are missing, if you want to say so, because if I have a financial system that we have, a centralized system, right? If you look at that in more detail, you will realize that it's very, very tight-knit and there's not a lot of room for other things, right? And if this system could be endangered in any way or shape, it's going to be blocked. And that's what happened with Bitcoin as well. It was not allowed in the beginning. They tried to fight it in the beginning, or it was fought in the beginning, you know, and they tried to destroy it, but it didn't work. And then, well, it created some awareness, and then people said, okay, this is a dangerous technology because under certain circumstances, it can endanger our system. It can destroy many places of work. And especially over the past few months, I had a lot of conversations with people from very, very big financial partners, banks, for example, and they said very clearly, we would love to do it, but the problem is that we're all going to lose our jobs. And that is really the main point. And also, of course, everything else that has to do with the system, right? And at this point in time, something has developed. An idea was created. And we thought, okay, what's missing in Bitcoin? Bitcoin is an alternative way of paying, a payment system, but there are things missing. An alternative payment or an alternative means of payment or system that is really getting back to an existing infrastructure, but that's an infrastructure that doesn't want to be accessed, right? And in that situation, you really have the repercussions that we see. Bitcoin so far is still not something that has reached the masses. And that was the background, that was why we had some developers that came together and they started discussing the situation. They said, okay, what can we do? What's missing? And that's how the idea came up. Okay, we don't only need a means of payment. Of course, that is important in this circle, but we also need digital economics. That's very, very important. So decentralized, creating marketplaces, services, making it where we have usability so that in the future, everybody who accesses the wallet has some added benefits, some added value. I do remember a time in the beginning of the 90s or mid-90s when for the very first time after 3 years, I was able to access the internet, right? And was extremely disappointed. I just thought, oh, everybody's talking about this internet, but what is it all about? It's just a couple of pages. I can read some information. It's super boring. So accessing the internet, going online just took a lot longer than the period of time I actually spent online afterwards. So I do think many of us feel the same way about that. Also, people who are confronted with infinity economics, they feel the same way. They open the wallet and they say, okay, great, but what am I going to do with it? And the technological know-how as to what kind of hidden treasures there are, just as we saw in the past online, that is something that people have not grasped yet. And that's what we want to change. That's our mission. Now we created the basis. That's what it was all about. And we're now in a position to really reach more. The system is very stable now. We have more than 400 nodes going on right now. We started with 25 in the beginning, and of course, we still use them as our foundation, and we guarantee that to be our foundation. So the main net is always there, regardless of how many nodes we add. And now we have more than 400 nodes, and for a system that's that young, that's that new, that really doesn't have any publicity or PR so far. That's just genius, And what we've seen over the past few weeks in terms of increases in value is something that is really due to the fact that right now we are really in a process of change in the whole crypto scene. Because many might have already heard about it, but Bitcoin has some issues. Bitcoin also now sort of split up in two communities. That's the BTC and the BTC Cash. And we also have problems with the smart contracts with Ethereum, and that is just due to the fact that Bitcoin, as the mother of blockchain technology, simply didn't develop further. It's unbelievably amounts of money that are really included here, but nothing has changed afterwards. So they really stopped by way of discussions about the sizes of blocks, about the advantages, disadvantages, and so on. And Ethereum was very similar. They have a very great new blockchain technology that they came up with, but they started it way too early on the market, and we can see the repercussions right now. I mean, some of you might have already heard about it. I would say in terms of a time frame, we had a DAO where we had several million that were lost. And right now, a couple of days ago, we saw a mistake when it comes to programming. There were 150 million that were just burned, and that was something, or that is something we can never get back unless you have a so-called rollover. And again, that is going to be very difficult. So that would then, create more problems, and that can't be the solution. And the vision within the blockchain or the crypto scene is and was originally very visionary. It was an alternative. And over the past few years, because of all the exorbitant profits that were achieved, it sort of came to a point where people just wanted to profit more and more, It was just greed. And we can't forget one thing, and that is the vision why Bitcoin was even created. And that was really to have an alternative to our broken financial system. And we said, okay, we have to reach the masses. We can't be commercial. We're not interested in profits, first of all. We really are interested in our project. And the project has to ensure that it's going to be stable, that it's going to be running stable, and that it can't be changed 99%, and if that really can happen in real life, and right now we have more than 40,000 people using this blockchain, and we have a market capitalization of more than 600 million. I think we need a big round of applause for that. Yeah. So I just have to watch my time. I really don't have too much time, and I don't want to go into technical details because then most of you are probably going to fall asleep. However, that really is the current situation. So we're in a point where we really have the foundation. We've laid the foundation. We have all the bases, and many aren't patient. I know many have complained that communication might also not be the best. But if we look around in this room and we really check how many people are here and how many people are participating in our live stream, people might know if I have to talk to everybody on a daily basis, of course I can't do my actual job anymore. That's why I had to prioritize, and I would like to apologize for that. I would like to apologize to everyone if I wasn't the best at communicating. But like I said, the platform blockchain, that was my main priority, and I wanted to get it where it is today. And starting today, many things are changing, because today our baby is in a position to really start walking. We've been through the first test runs. We have the biggest community that's available in the crypto area that has ever existed in the crypto area. We initialized with 27,000 people. That has never been there before. And we really set new milestones. And in terms of technology, what happens is that we currently really are the most modern and also most advanced technology that is available in the market. And it is our goal to really get to a place where Bitcoin was supposed to be long ago. And the place that Bitcoin has today, that's what we want to have in the future. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we've prepared quite a bit, and what's very important is that we really have one of the pillars of this space is that we have an exchange that does work. Well, we're already at smaller exchanges that we're listed at, and those exchanges grew with us. And we have a lot of experience that we were able to gather in just a short amount of time, because the size of the community that we are showing is not easy to handle for everybody. For bigger exchanges, it is possible, but the problem for bigger exchanges was that they have new regulations because of the craziness that is going on with the EC20 tokens, and the exchanges have new regulations, especially over the past 2 months. And because of that, they really cannot start any new coins without giving up the DAO status. And we really don't want to endanger that, because our priority, first of all, is always the project, and then everything else after that. And now in that period of time, we have a strategic partnership, an exchange that we are going to present later on, and we're going to be in a position to really handle that traffic, that tsunami that we are going to cause now in terms of marketing, and we can actually capture that on a global basis. They have similar expansion plans that we have, and as an exchange, we're also going to have shared marketing ideas, and so on. In addition to that, we're going to have our own actions. We can see, for example, Facebook live stream today. We see YouTube, we see Twitter. So they're going to be marketing pop-ups everywhere. And our blockchain, our platform is going to be what it is, right? And in the future, what we want to be in the position to be the most well-known blockchain in this world. Yeah. So what did we prepare for that? Today, we really have a fireworks of people for you. Over the past few weeks and months, we've really worked quite a bit. We've worked a lot. We've had some great teams that have developed because we really wanted to cover different areas. So we have people in communications. We have people who excel in marketing activities. We also have some people who are very, very good at programming. So we really have the best of the best everywhere. And we started to have very good groups of very effective peoples. And we would like to really tell everybody that's here in this room and also those that are listening via live stream, if you want to contribute and you might not be sure how to do that, you can be part of those working teams. So after today's session, we are going to have a list of addresses that we're going to publish, and that's where you can reach these people and you can be part of these groups, part of these working groups. And starting from there, we're going to have synergy effects and we can all work on this project together, because we can't forget one thing. We all work on this project together. It is our project. It's not just one person or two people or three people who are working on this project. It's our shared project. It's open and we all have to take responsibility for it. We have to take responsibility for our baby to grow up properly. Yeah, so at this point in time, I would like to just very briefly check my list. We have a schedule for today, and we have some people on our schedule who want to contribute today, and they are going to contribute in the future as well. And they are going to present their projects, whether it's marketing campaigns or also the exchanges we're going to see later on. They're going to present as well, so that we have sort of like a roadmap for the next 6 or 12 months. Just a rough roadmap, and that you all understand where we're going, what direction we're taking. And I do think, if that's the case, we're all going to be in a position to carry it to the world, right? I think the most important thing we have to understand is if people say, well, I can't do anything, I don't have any abilities, then I would like to remind them, well, throwing a rock in water, it's really going to start building circles, and these circles are growing and growing and growing. And if each individual person does that via our platform, and if you start talking about infinity economics, just like I spoke to the very first people they weren't experienced with it at all. And if they don't understand it, we can help them. We can help them wake up, and we can tell them, look at this. Our financial system is going to collapse. It's only a matter of time, and we have alternatives here. Would you like to start at the very beginning, or would you like to maybe start now already and be integrated and be part of it, be part of the development, so that we just have a soft turnover? That's really our job. And I do think this is the first part of our presentation. That concludes it. So thank you very much.